Jeremiah, Payne fails to meet his goal. Will he end up in jail today? DMA set to kill his DMA 1.0 channel until he realizes that his DMA 2.0 channel isn't monetized. DirectD says that Lane Myers is the new constitutional law scholar. Is Jose Chille DeCastro obsolete? Plus, what about the rumors he staged his own hacking? And is he really an incel? Plus, the angry vet is about to dispense justice on his road trip. Will he get coal in his fishnets this year? All this and more on this edition of Auditing Insanity. Good afternoon, and welcome to the combined Auditing Insanity Newscast for Sunday, December 8th and Monday, December 9th, 2024. I'm Johnny Jones, and I'll be your host today for news stories on DirectD, Lane Myers, Chille DeCastro, Denver Metro Audits, and Jeremiah Payne. We got so much going on today that you'll have to forgive us for finishing early today. So we ask you to focus on Payne lashes out as deadline approaches. An increasingly desperate Jeremiah, Payne live-streamed for 5 hours on Saturday night in an attempt to raise the $600 he says he needs to pay for unspecified fines that are due on Monday or else face 280 days in jail. Frustrated, Payne started to lash out at both his viewers and his fellow members of the First Amendment auditing community, noting at times that he had 9 people watching his stream while only one person would be active in his side chat at a time. Payne didn't lash out at trolls, for once, as Payne no longer gets full-time coverage from his previous advisories. Unlike the times when trolling Payne brought competing bands of troll armies in 2023, the modern Payne lives in relative obscurity, getting an occasional look from former nemesis Fraudit Wrangler or Story in this publication when he does something newsworthy. Saturday's low-energy presentation offered nothing to the trolls to dig into. Payne was depressingly candid about what he claimed to be his current future: 280 days in jail for not paying the fine and homelessness for his mother, wife, and 7-year-old child, all of whom are dependent on him and cannot work on their own. As usual, Payne didn't take advantage of his StreamYard to promote his Cash Apps, PayPal, or GoFundMe links. He pinned 2 of the links over in his side chat, but didn't put them in a scrolling banner or verbally remind his fans as to the URLs for his donation links. He also failed to clarify exactly why he needed the money. After almost 10 hours on the air, the exact charges he faces are not known. Only Payne's assurance that he needs $600 immediately to pay a fine or else he'll go to jail for 280 days on Monday has been offered, and sadly, that's not enough in this day and age to spur donations based on Payne's past history of deception. Payne achieved great fame in 2023 after he and his wife Samantha were arrested during a live stream from their hotel for outstanding warrants after a tip-off from a viewer to police. Payne left his stream going after he was arrested, and fans in Looky Loose were treated to a weekend of the camera featuring the empty hotel room. Jose Chille DeCastro immediately attempted to help Payne by raising money to bond both he and his wife Samantha out of jail, but Payne refused further help from DeCastro. Eventually, Payne would denounce DeCastro's help in a public statement, leading to DeCastro ending all help for the Paynes in the future. Saturday night, Payne again lashed out at DeCastro and others in the First Amendment auditing community. He claimed that he had reached out to all the big names: Josh Abrams, James Freeman, DeCastro, Lackluster, etc., and no one responded to his plight. More importantly, longtime friend News Now Preston reportedly turned his back on Payne, saying that he was too busy to help him or to go live to alert his fans that Payne was in need of help or faced prison time. As Payne ended his 5-hour-long broadcast Saturday night, he had raised a total of $170 and was increasingly lashing out, in a mix of sadness and anger, in frustration as no one would help him or donate to his case. Payne's forgotten GoFundMe campaign, his A Family Fallen on Hard Times fund again brought in $0 for the day, with $80 raised out of a $7,000 goal. The market itself remains stagnant for a second day in a row during the holiday season, with no funding taken in by any of the campaigns we follow. We need your help. This newscast is funded by your donations along with what we make from our YouTube channel per month. While we did achieve full monetization on YouTube, we still need help to get through monthly expenses and keeping the lights on to bring you the paper and the newscast each day. If you can afford it, please consider donating to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All donations literally go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the advertisements on our videos and like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in. Direct D anoints Myers as DeCastro heir. Christopher Direct D. Ruff took time out of his 8-hour-long live stream Saturday night into Sunday morning to anoint controversial YouTuber Lane Myers as the new top constitutional law scholar on YouTube. While pointing out that Myers was chaotic and often asked crazy in courtroom, but isn't wrong in his view of the law, Ruff endorsed the growing idea that Myers has replaced Jose Chille DeCastro as the top activist fighting for change in the courtroom. Unlike DeCastro, who has become shy around police officers, showing great fear of returning to jail after a stint for a conviction that was later overturned earlier this year, Myers has shown great strength in his ability to verbally manhandle police, judges, and politicians, and somehow avoid extended stays in jail. The always expressive YouTuber known as Paul Unslaved added to the criticism of DeCastro recently by triggering DeCastro and DeCastro's own side chat during a live stream when he announced that constitutional law scholars don't hire attorneys to get them out of jail. They fight their battles in court themselves. DeCastro created the term constitutional law scholar for himself, which he has stated somehow gives him the rights of a lawyer without needing a law degree. Over the years, DeCastro has used the false title to attempt to pass himself off as being on the level of a lawyer, often going so far as to sell legal documents online as part of his established services. There is no record of DeCastro passing the bar in any of the states he's been active in, nor does he officially claim to be a lawyer, and he uses the title as an alternative. He's managed to obtain the power of attorney in at least one case he's documented on his live streams, and has advised such people as Deborah Rogers and Floyd Wallace in lawsuits that ultimately either failed or were voluntarily dismissed. Criticism of DeCastro in recent days has had the auditing community look to an alternative to his antics. Faith has been lost in DeCastro as he has backed away from the term, which again supposedly gave him the rights as a lawyer without needing to pass a bar exam, and has relied on more and more actual lawyers to handle his legal matters. As Lane Myers grows in popularity, with Ruff's endorsement instantly skyrocketing him to increase fame, there are those who say that Myers is the true law scholar, as he actually practices what he says he knows in ongoing court cases throughout Arizona. Ruff also addressed YouTuber The Angry Vet on his late-night live stream. He said that it was proven that The Angry Vet was lying about having an active nonprofit organization, as his campaign was never registered with the Internal Revenue Service. He called The Angry Vet a scammer who was ripping off fellow veterans during the holiday service, and called for the vet to either disband his campaign or legitimately file the organization with the IRS. Ruff's livestream was still live as of press time.
DeCastro labeled incel after adult video-themed stream. Jose Chille DeCastro challenged the idea that he had gone soft and relinquished the title of edgiest First Amendment auditor to rival Lane Myers Saturday night by holding a live stream focusing on sexual content involving corrupt cops. DeCastro became spiritually aroused by a report that an Arapahoe County, Nevada, deputy had resigned after officials learned that she was taking part in adult videos on her OnlyFans page after facing desperation over mounting bills. The YouTuber, who has been accused of having traits similar to an incel due to his repeated displays of extreme fear and hatred of women as authority figures, reveled in the firing as the deputy took part in Nevada's Peace Officer Standards and Training Board at one point. DeCastro is currently suing the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police over his March 2023 arrest, in part, claiming that the training standards for police in Nevada encourage negative outcomes and abuse of the public. Viewers were also disturbed by DeCastro's focus on a recent Kentucky case where a judge was gunned down by a sheriff for allegedly running his courthouse like a brothel and his alleged involvement in an adult activities for favors scheme. DeCastro's lurid and disturbing reaction to both stories was deemed gross and weird by viewers as he visibly enjoyed reading both stories, again, apparently mentally stimulated by showing police wrongdoing. The accusations of an obsession with intimate adult videos and alleged fear and hatred of women come as DeCastro's own YouTube page was reportedly hacked and featured over an hour of intimate male-themed videos before the YouTuber stopped the hack. While DeCastro claims that the hacking was from an outside source and that YouTube agreed with him and restored his channel, there are those who point out that DeCastro was desperate for attention and goodwill at the time of the alleged hacking. DeCastro's attempts to open a Patreon page, rebrand as First Amendment Auditor, establish a paid website at teamdlz.com and move from YouTube to Twitter had all failed within the same time frame, and DeCastro was seen as desperate for any sort of attention or goodwill. To many, an outside person or group hacking DeCastro's account maliciously just doesn't make sense, as DeCastro himself was at his lowest point and was spiraling out of control due to continued failures. If anything, the hack has brought sympathy to the YouTuber, which he has failed to capitalize on, as he has put all of his recent efforts into building his Constitutional Law Scholar board game, which he promised to have available for Christmas, instead of live streaming. DeCastro did not live stream on Sunday, as is expected to have a limited streaming schedule until he completes his board game efforts.
Is Jeremiah Payne heading to jail for warrant? Jeremiah Payne ended his 6-hour-long livestream Monday morning on a downward turn, as he said that if he didn't raise the rest of the money he needed in the next few hours, he would return to live streaming, as he was on the phone begging with a court to extend his deadline. Payne had live-streamed for nearly 10 hours over the weekend after claiming on Friday that he had until Monday to raise $600 for a fine, or else a warrant would be issued for his arrest, and he would be sentenced to 280 days in jail. Stating that he was hiding details of the fine and warrant from his trolls, Payne would only say that the fine had been around 4 years. This didn't explain why Payne, who has had great times of popularity over the past years, didn't raise money to pay the fine in the past, as he's clearly known about it for some time. Payne again lashed out at his fans, as his side chat was often silent or featuring commentary from a single person, though he had 14 people watching the stream on average. He later claimed that at least 2 of the viewers were police officers who should be acting on anything anyone did illegal during his livestream. He again turned to a comment he attributed to YouTuber Fraud Wrangler that said that Payne should take his own life from a previous chat. He claimed the comment was illegal and that police should be taking action on it, despite Payne himself not filing a police report on the comment. Payne then asserted that he downloaded every video made about himself or his family, despite YouTube's policies against using third-party software to download content, as he kept an archive of videos to fuel potential future action against other creators. Payne also did not take into account the mass number of YouTube members that he has banned from his chat over the past few years. The YouTuber has been known to ban for the slightest of things, often banning strangers after just a few sentences posted in his chat. While the amount of people who would then donate after being banned is low, Payne, after having a YouTube channel for over 7 years, should be aware of the value of commentary on his channel, from both positive and negative commentary, as it tends to grow his community and possible base for donations. As it stands now, Payne's own actions are seen by many as the source of his lack of donations. His lashing out at other creators after they refused to help or ignored his cries for help in his darkest hour is par for course based on his past negative behavior after attempts were made to help him. Payne is expected to make one last attempt at live streaming today, as he either pays his fine or he attempts to get an extension from the court. DMA gets wishy-washy over channel deletion. Christopher Denver Metro Audits. Cordova announced the abandonment of his main Denver Metro Audits 1.0 YouTube channel Sunday night, as he again claimed that he was changing focus to his Denver Metro Audits 2.0 channel. The announcement comes less than a week after Cordova threatened the move after complaining about a content strike that would not clear from his main channel until at least January 5, 2025. Cordova says he received the content strike after featuring a video blurb that advertised the coverage of a topless women's march in the Denver area that received a warning from YouTube, which was followed by a full content strike when he released the full video. While not demonetized with the content strike, Cordova has complained that he was shadow banned by YouTube following the content strike. He stated that YouTube has denied that they shadow banned anyone, but he followed it up by showing that his channel's metrics had fallen sharply since the content strike. The YouTuber also took no blame for his own actions that may be hurting his metrics, as Cordova routinely sets live streams to private status immediately after ending each stream. Those tuning in late to his coverage of breaking news are routinely cut off in midstream, as Cordova privates the material, resulting in lost views and watch hours. Cordova deemed that videos that bring in under 14,000 views, $98 total at YouTube's current estimated rate per 1,000 views, were below him and not worth the time and effort put into making the videos. Even a recent YouTube short, which he claimed went viral, did not bring in enough money to justify its existence, according to Cordova. The YouTuber directed all of his viewers to move to his Denver Metro Audits 2.0 channel, which is not currently monetized, for all new releases in the future. However, Cordova could not explain how he'd make money off of those releases, as again, the channel has yet to achieve monetization on YouTube. Cordova pondered this, stating that he has enough subscribers to qualify, but implied he didn't have enough watch hours yet, and backtracked as he implored his viewers to keep their memberships active on the non-dying Denver Metro Audits 1.0 channel until such time as his secondary channel gains the ability to offer memberships. Cordova will not be deleting his Denver Metro Audits 1.0 at this time, and will apparently keep it active enough to maintain watch hours and monetization in the future. The angry vet dominates Sunday GoFundMe. The market was still down on Sunday but saw some signs of life as the Angry Vets Boost Scars mission for Veterans and Citizens campaign took in $20 for the day, bringing its total take to $1,100 out of a $20,000 goal. Followers of the Angry Vets antics note that the Scars campaign has been controversial as the Angry Vets claim to have an established nonprofit tax entity have been disproven as his organization does not appear on the Internal Revenue Service's list of registered 501(c)(3) organizations. The Angry Vet himself went live early on Monday morning, announcing while eating a McDonald's breakfast sandwich that he was about to embark on an 8-hour road trip where he will be dispensing justice. He denied rumors created by Christopher Direct D. Ruff that he had used money from his Scars campaign to buy groceries for YouTuber for public safety and announced that he would soon be holding another fundraising campaign for Scars next week. The Angry Vet announced that his rap song targeting Direct D and other auditors will soon be released and told his viewers to stay tuned for an official drop on his YouTube channel. We need your help. This newscast is funded by your donations along with what we make from our YouTube channel per month. While we did achieve full monetization on YouTube, we still need help to get through monthly expenses and keeping the lights on to bring you the paper and the newscast each day. If you can afford it, please consider donating to the GoFundMe run by this very channel. All donations literally go to keeping the lights on, eating, and writing news stories to feature here and on ReallyCoolSite.org. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch the advertisements on our videos and like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in. And we're back. In an update to the Jeremiah Payne stories, he's yet to go live or given any indications that he has either met or failed to meet his fundraising goals as promised. We'll be monitoring his channel for updates all day today, but as of 11 a.m. Eastern Time, there's been no significant updates to tell if he's going to jail. On that note, we'll be back with you tomorrow with all the news that is news to us. Good night, everyone.